ancient time portal, a gate leading us 2,500 years back in time. This is found in Mount Hymettus, which is a mountain surrounding the city of Athens, Greece. The most beautiful experience we can have is in this mysterious cave, this mysterious experience. It's the primary emotion that underlies true art and science. This is what Albert Einstein once said. It's how one can see what one will see if one goes to the south of Attica and you see the Nympholeptu cave, also known as Panos Cave and Archaeological Cave. But there's a warning on the sign on the iron fence that the cave is huge and it's clear and it's forbidden entrance. There's risk of accidents, so anyone who decides something daring should think of another German physicist who can't believe God is playing dice with the world, end quote. Of course, before you go there, you have to be determined for adventure. There are two ways to go to this Nympholeptus cave. In both, the main condition is to go to the southern slope of Mount Hymettus, north of Vari, which is southern Athens, and east of Vula. There is a dirt road on the right side of the asphalt road, which after about 2.5 kilometers leads just above the point where the cave is located. But you'll see you'll need a four-wheel drive vehicle because a conventional car cannot go up this area. There is, of course, a solution of walking there for those who have no problem walking for miles. Another way is to go all the way to the end of the asphalt road, park your vehicle there, and then start the ascent upwards from a not so accessible path. In fact, there is no path that it must be created by one who decides to climb about 300 to 400 meters. And it says here we chose the second. Once you get there, you'll find an iron structure that essentially protects the cave, especially from rock falls and landslides. And the eye will immediately fall on two large signs that exit. One has a summary of the historical data, which demonstrates the importance of the cave, and the other sign clarifies the dangers of entering it. It's because where there is a door, there is no door. There's absolutely no door. It's just a cage covering, and you can enter at your own risk, I guess. And this is it right here. Basically, it's a cage covering from landslides and rockfalls, and this is the way you can go into it. Now, in other words, anyone can enter, only he'll find that the descent into the interior of the cave is much more difficult than the ascent of the slope to get there. Both the author and the text and the photographer of Newsbeat, where we get some of these pictures, Yanis Kemos, concluded that it's extremely dangerous to make even an attempt to descend into the cave. And he said, after all, we are not experts. For this reason, we turn to the most expert professor of early anthropology at the University of Athens and president of the Hellenic Speleological Society, Konstantinos Merdenisianos, who sent photos from inside the cave, as you see in the subject, as well as enough material about its history, cave, and how important it is historically. And by the hand of Archimedes, it became a place of worship. The cave is an important archaeological site because its interior is decorated by Thireos, that is from Thera, today Santorini, sculpture Archimedes, something that dates back to the third quarter of the 5th century BC. He settled there shortly before the Peloponnesian War. The setting was what inspired him to honor the nymphs, who, according to legend, lived in the forest, but also the god Apollo, as well as Pan, turning the cave into a place of worship, remaining so until the 3rd century BC, when it was abandoned, as the sign outside the iron fence informs us. From the time of Archidiakon, 5 inscriptions have been engraved on the walls, as well as reliefs. In one of these inscriptions, which is kept in very good condition, it seems that he himself became an Athenian citizen of the municipality of Holidon, An important relief is also preserved depicting him holding a chisel and a hammer and a headless statue of a goddess seated on a throne. After the abandonment of the cave, a break of 5 centuries followed until the period of Constantine the Great of 307 to 337 AD, as stated by the data sent to us by Mr. Marianas, and according to the sign at the entrance of the ironclad structure again, the cave began to be used again by the Neoplatonists in the years of Julian the Transgressor. Excavations have uncovered an iron cross and some coins of the time, proving that they were used by Christians at the same time. This cycle closes in the 4th century AD, most likely due to a devastating attack on the cave by Christians who attempted to turn it into a Christian hermitage, and this explains the findings. Again in the light because of the English traveler Chandler. The cave became famous again in recent years. In 1765, by the English traveler Richard Chandler, it immediately attracted a lot of interest as, in addition to the impressive stalactite and stalagmite decoration, which is kept in very good condition, as evidenced by the photographs from inside, a number of ancient monuments were found. Since then, it has been a place of visit for foreign travelers visiting Attica. Even Lord Byron, as well as the royal couple of Otto and Amalia, visited it and in order to admire its hidden space. The reliefs were saved by the archaeologists of the 18th and 19th centuries because they were considered useless. At the beginning of the 20th century, the excavation and research was undertaken by the American School of Classical Studies based in Athens. In 1902, more than 1,000 clay richly decorated lamps and votive stone inscriptions of the 4th century were found as well. And the unique cave in Greece carved statues in its interior located in Hymettus. Most of the finds are now housed in the Archaeological Museum of Athens, but according to the inscriptions, there were other larger reliefs which are believed to be in museums abroad. Access only with the accompaniment of specialists. The opening of the cave, with dimensions 5 by 2 meters, is almost vertical, and on its edge have been carved stairs which today can be characterized as even damaged. The main hall of the cave, with a length of 26 meters and a width of 23 meters and a height of 10 meters, was the sanctuary, while it's separated by a wall of stalactites in 2 parts. We did not have the opportunity to see all this, as a descent to its interior, we repeat, would be extremely dangerous. The rudimentary stairs are very slippery, and a wrong step could be fatal. After all, the cave is not really visitable. The only specialists, that is speleologists, with the appropriate equipment can enter it, but the magic does not cease to exist. It gushes from its depths with the energy it releases, and you feel it when someone is there. This is on the Rediscovery. I've translated it for you from a Greek article. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.